Well, we are now into June 8th. The first full week of June is behind us. Crazy, hard to believe. Last day of school for my kids was 2 days ago on Friday. So things are changing. Summer's here. It's relatively nice outside. Here's the thing. A lot of good conversations going here on social media. Great stuff, awesome stuff, intriguing stuff, really getting the juices flowing, thinking about what's working, what's not working. I love it. That's kind of what makes me tick is feeding off each other. Part of the main reason I really enjoy guiding is talking to people, networking, learning from one another. There's not a guide trip that I do where I don't pick up tidbits of information from my clients on the way they fish, on the bites they've experienced, on things that happen. So I love that kind of stuff. Keep it coming, keep it flowing. If you have questions, by all means, fire them off below, whatever you want there. So it's interesting. So we're seeing summer start to slowly take shape. We're seeing our bluegills moving onto their beds. We're seeing our walleyes sliding into sparser weed edges more. We're even seeing some walleyes being caught out in the deeper weed lines. I'm hearing about that from some of the guys and gals chasing bass. Our bass are spawned out, starting to slide out. I'm hearing of Ned rig bites, jigworm bites, all that kind of stuff. I've prominently been fishing shallow. Now by shallow, it can be relative to the lake. I'm gonna say under 15 feet of water is where I've been focusing a lot of my time. Even a lot of stuff in 5 to 10. A lot of 5 to 10 foot ranges where I've been catching walleyes, bass, bluegills, crappies. We're seeing all that kind of stuff going on. Interesting little thing that I noticed this past week as we move into June. Now the second week of June, we're still seeing dark crappies. We're still seeing males that are dark in and around spawning habitat, which I don't feel like I've seen as much in the past years this time of year. I feel like once we get to that June 1st time frame, a lot of that's done. I also feel like some of our crappies are reabsorbing their eggs. So some of that stuff is happening. We're getting some females that still look a little bit like they have egg sacs going on. Not entirely sure, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting is we're seeing some of that stuff happening. So there might be some crappies reabsorbing their eggs, which can be typical. I've heard of that happening many times before. So if you're chasing the panfish, crappies, bluegills, they seem to be next to each other. Bluegills starting to spawn. We've caught a lot of fish with beat up tails. We're catching some females that are just, looks like they swallowed a golf ball. The males are getting dark, starting to sit on some of those spots. So a lot of things are happening in the panfish world. The bite's fun, relatively simple if you can get on these fish. Where are they sitting? Main lake points, main lake flats, usually on the ends. The bigger fish are going to be on the outside edge, relating to the weeds. That's a theme you've seen me talk about literally for weeks, and it's going to be a theme today. A lot of our fish are relating to the weeds. So sparse weed lines, sandy bottoms. Those bluegills like to really rut around in that kind of sandy, silty bottom. So look for areas like that that maybe flatten out a bit outside of these weed flats, on these main lake weed points, on these big inside turns. Look for barren spots that flatten out, places where these bluegills can spawn. Now, all that said, don't be overzealous on some of these areas. Let some of these fish do what they need to do, if you know what I mean. Let them get through this spawn period. Don't sit there on top of, let's say, a colony of fish and pluck every single one off. There are fish still staging, moving around the outside perimeter. There's bluegills out on the weed line still. Those fish are not actively spawning. Those fish you can still go out and catch. So small rant over. So panfish, good time of year to chase them. Still catching crappies. Bluegills are catching on as well. It's a fun time of year to chase bluegills and crappies. What am I doing to catch those fish? I'm still fishing underneath the rocket bobber. I'm still fishing drop TGs. I'm still fishing smaller plastics. Whether it's the Niku lineup, whether it's a tube from Mr. Twister, whether it's whatever, Z-Man tube, Z-Man, whatever, they're catching fish. So that's been the way we're doing it. One thing we noticed the last few days, I took a buddy of mine, Carl, out and co-worker and his dad. They were dragging baits, fishing baits without bobbers right on the bottom. Did pretty well. Those are fish that are a little more aggressive, actively feeding, but you can definitely take the bobber off and fan cast if you want to catch a bluegill and a crappie as well. Okay, plenty of ways to do it. In terms of game fish, we've talked walleyes in the weeds. That's been a hot topic. I posted a picture yesterday, had quite a few comments on it, just about weed fishing in general. We've talked about braided line to fluoro leaders. It's important because there's no stretch. I can snap it and pop it through the weeds. I am not fishing a weed guard. I'm fishing exposed hook. I'm snapping it right through. In fact, the exact hooks, jigs I'm fishing are drop TGs. This is a tungsten jig from Clam Outdoors. In fact, there's a good special, good deal going on right now on these if you go to clamoutdoors.com. Not intending for that to be a sales pitch. It's just the truth. They're offering a bundle. You can save on this stuff. This is the exact jig I'm fishing in an 1/8 ounce. I will fish a 3/16. I've gone down to a 16th. Mustad hook, tungsten head, smaller profile, very durable. You can put on your favorite plastic. I've been catching them on minnow baits. We talked about small swim baits. I've actually been catching them pretty well on this ringworm from Mr. Twister. This is an SI, salt infused. You've heard me talk about the Cometa is now salt infused. Well, their ringworm is also salt infused now, and all of your favorite, look at that little chartreuse speck. That thing is just money. We caught a bunch of fish on that. Tiny little tail. You can pitch that in the weeds, snap it through there. Very versatile, not too gaudy. Smaller presentation. You're looking at 3-4 inch presentation. Pair that up with your favorite drop TG jig head. You got a pretty deadly combo. Spinning rod, medium light action, 7.76, 10 pound, 15 pound mainline braid. Put a 6 or 8 pound fluorocarbon leader on there. Pitch this thing anywhere from 3 feet to 13, 14, 15 feet in and amongst the weeds. Snap it through, let it fall. You feel a little bit of weed. Pop it through, let it fall. Feel a fish. Hook sets are free. So that ringworm has been really good. It also has all the various bassy colors, but I've been actually fishing this for walleyes. So that's kind of what we're doing in these weeds is people are asking, I'm not going up into the thickest mat of milfoil. It's the stuff I flip for bass and throw that presentation in there, right? I'm looking at the sparser weed edges. If I'm looking with my sonar, weeds, and I look just to the right and there's nothing, pan back this way, weeds, pan this way, super thick. I'm casting right there, right where there's just weeds kind of stalked out, not just matted up and not barren, right? You cast out there in the barren stuff, like somebody made a comment, a lot of pike there. You cast up into the real thick jungle, you're not gonna like your life. And that could be some of the stuff you're having problems with. So I'm gonna pan back this way. I'm gonna cast for maybe every once in a while. I'm ticking a weed. That's where those fish are actively feeding. That's where your ambush fish are. In that zone, let's say on Lake Minnetonka, seems to be dirty water side, you're looking at probably 6 to 10 feet of water. Clean water side, you notice I go west, dirty, east, cleaner, right? Clean water side, you're probably going to be in 8 to 15 feet of water where those walleyes are. 5 to 10, 6 to 10, 8 to 15. That seems to be a general rule of thumb. Now, don't hold me to that because every spot could be different. On the clean side, you could still throw into 10 feet and get super snagged up. And on the dirty side, you could throw into 8 feet and get super snagged up. So every spot's different. Look at what the weed growth is doing and make that judgment call for yourself. Excuse me. We struggle to catch them on a leech and a bobber. I know many of you are doing that still. We are struggling to do it. So I've even seen fish, threw it on their head, turn to it, nothing, sink down, pop that leech a little bit. They come back, look at it, turn down, and once again, come back through with a jig and a plastic, something more erratic, snap it through their face. They come up, boom, they hit it. We're talking walleyes. Bass seem to be eating everything. So that doesn't seem to matter near as much. In terms of bass fishing, talked about wacky rigs. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. It just gets bit. We just talked about how Cometa is now salt infused. Super awesome. Good clean salt throughout the entire thing. That's working really, really well. So the Cometa wacky rig works very, very well. Don't forget the wacky rig. Another bait that I just wanted to touch on is Mr. Twister came out with a salt infused super lizard. Love this thing. This is going to be a great variation to add to your arsenal for summer Carolina rigging, pitching deeper cover, deeper water. The C rig gets very underutilized. We'll touch on that later on in a future video, but this is how salt infused. Otherwise, chatterbaits, spinnerbaits. I've seen anglers and clients in my boat bring those along, chuck them around, shallow cover. They're picking up bass, some nice ones. So bass seem to be doing their thing. I have not personally seen them make a huge move out deep yet. I still think they're kind of in that mid-range post-spawn pattern. I have not chased a muskie. I know yesterday was the Minnesota Muskie opener. Hopefully some of you got out there and had some good success and hopefully caught a muskie, saw a bunch, had a great time. We were supposed to get all kinds of rain the last few days. Didn't see it. We were supposed to get rain all day Friday. I wore my rain bibs the whole day just to not jinx us. Never saw a lick of rain other than the early morning hours. Ended up being a nice day. Yesterday on Saturday, we had a few passing thunder showers that came through, but for the most part, nice. Now here today on Sunday, it's already in the afternoon. Haven't seen much. So I guess my point with that is, don't look at the forecast some days, just go out fishing. Bring the necessary gear if you need it, your rain suit, your Blackfish rain gear, bring the sun shirt, bring all the different stuff this time of year. We've talked about you can start in hoodies, you can end in sun shirts, you can put on the rain jacket for an hour, you can take it off, you can use it to block the wind. Just have those things with you. It's nothing that's gonna hurt the game. So that's what we're up against. We're up against some good fishing. I would say this next week looks pretty good. We have a little bit of rain predicted. Like I said, it's not going to scare me at all, but it is predicted through tomorrow afternoon-ish. Tuesday looks hot, 80s, haze, more of that haze coming down from the north. It looks like a relatively stable week, maybe some rain here and there. But again, I'm not seeing anything this week that's going to really scare me away from going out there and chasing down some fish. So as we move into June, things are looking promising. Things are shaping up. Next weekend, Father's Day. We're a week away from Father's Day, so if you get a chance, say hi to Dad. Thank any of those dads in your life. We're a week away from that great holiday, so appreciate all the dads out there. We're a week away. We'll hit you up actually on Father's Day for another report. So go out there, have a great week. Kiddos, welcome to summer break. Don't make it too difficult for mom and dad. Please give them a little bit of leeway as summer enters, because mom and dad still getting after it, still working. Kids, stay busy, stay productive, stay respectful, and have a great summer. So here we go, moving into June. Fishing's hot. Go out there, have some fun, set some hooks.